After Harold knocked 3 heads, tears of humiliation rolled in his eyes. But he didn't dare to make a mistake at the moment. Because he knew that Grandma must have strong dissatisfaction with him now. At this time, he can't say anything to make her angry anymore. The old Mrs. Wilson saw that Harold kowtowed his head and admitted his mistake. She felt a little more relaxed. She didn't want her grandson to kowtow to Charlie, but the point was that this poisonous oath was about her own life. She has always believed in Buddhism. If Harold doesn't kowtow to admit his mistake, she is afraid that she will have trouble sleeping and eating, for fear of retribution to her. So, she looked at Harold and said lightly, "Harold, these 3 heads are for you, a little lesson. Don't bet with others casually about things you are not sure about. Even if you bet, don't harm your family." Harold said with a sad face, "Grandma, I know, I won't dare anymore." When speaking, his eyes cast a look at Charlie, viciously waiting for him, thinking, "You rubbish, forcing me to kneel and kowtow to you and lose face, I will kill you sooner or later." Immediately, Mrs. Wilson opened the mouth and said, "It is gratifying to win this contract today. Everyone should hurry to prepare during this period. We must take this opportunity to build a good relationship with the Emgrand Group." Charlie reminded her on the side, "Grandma, since Claire talked about project cooperation, should the position of company director be given to Claire?" Old Mrs. Wilson raised her eyebrows, and she couldn't help but think to herself. She did say that whoever gets the contract can be the director. However, when she thinks that Claire has always been disliked by herself, and that her rubbish husband has been disgusting, her heart beats again with a different tune. If Claire is held up and she will not be under her control in the future, what should she do? At this moment, she wanted to withdraw her previous promise. After all, when she made the promise, she didn't swear a poisonous oath. Even if she took it back, she will feel at ease. However, she felt that this kind of remark could not be said when Claire just signed the contract, so she said in a convenient way, "Well, tomorrow night, I will hold a banquet and invite someone with good looks in Oris Hill to the scene. Then, I will face-to-face announce our cooperation with Emgrand Group and the appointment of a new director." Upon hearing this, Charlie was relieved with satisfaction. Claire also smiled gently. It seems that the position of the director is finally her own, and she does not need to be squeezed out in the future, and her parents can raise their heads again. Old Mrs. Wilson turned her face, looked at Claire, and said, "Claire, there is one more thing. Grandma wants you to help." Claire hurriedly said, "Grandma, would you please say?" Mrs. Wilson said, "I want you to contact the chairman of Emgrand and invite him to the banquet tomorrow." After a pause, the Lady Wilson said with a look of expectation, "If he can come to our banquet, it will definitely be a brilliant good thing for our Wilson family, and it will also make us famous." Claire thought for a moment, and hesitated, "But the last time I went, I only met Doris, the vice chairman of Emgrand, and never met the chairman himself. Moreover, we just got someone's project and are holding such a banquet. Does it not seem too deliberate? So what? I just want to tell the whole Oris Hill people that we are now tied to the big ship of Emgrand, and in the future our Wilson family will develop." The Lady Wilson finished speaking, and then said, "Even if the chairman of Emgrand does not want to come, it is okay to invite Doris over. She is the number 2 figure of Emgrand Group, and it would be very face-lifting for us to ask her to come over." At this point, Mrs. Wilson was already excited. When she thought that the big clans and big families who had not looked towards the Wilson family in the past might have to rely on the snort of the Wilson family in the future, she couldn't help but burst into enthusiasm. The Wilson family, in her hands, will become even more brilliant.